name is Chinelo Oputa. I like to discuss literature, literary topics. Today, I would like to read some of Sir Walter Scott's poems and have a discussion of it with you guys. Sometimes I come up here, I come on live to discuss marriage topics. These are the two things I normally talk about: literary topics and marriage topics. But for today, I'm talking as my working class pen here to discuss poems, some of the poems that Sir Walter Scott wrote. I would like to share some fun facts, about Sir Walter Scott. He's a Scottish poet, um, and he's known for inventing the historical novel. You know, there are so many people now writing historical novels. Sir Walter Scott is known to have invented that genre of novel narrative writing. He's also known to have helped the royal household discover their um, their crown jewels, because he studied history so deeply that he was able to trace where the crown jewels were hidden. And because someone in the royal household at that time um, loved his writing, was a fan of his writing, he followed um, his suggestions, and they broke down the wall where he felt those things, were last traced in history. And boom, they found those crown jewels there. So he helped the royal household find their crown jewels, everything intact, locked up in a chest. It was marvelous how his in-depth knowledge of the Scottish history helped to recover those priceless jewels. He is also known to have written so many novels to get himself out of debt, because he was owing so much that he had to write a lot. He had to write so many novels. So this is someone who wrote to save his life. Can you write to save your life? So this is what we try to encourage here. We want to build a community of writers, community of poets, community of readers as well, community of literature lovers who um, would love to either write or listen or read or listen to good literature. That's what we want to build here. So please help me share this live stream. Help me share to your audience so that the people who love um, the literary field would come and join and enjoy this classical poetry with us. It's also known that it's also said that Sir Walter Scott, being a lawyer, a legal personality, and because then um, writing was looked down upon, people looked down upon writing. How can a professional lawyer like you write a novel? How? So it was looked down upon. It's not something that professional lawyers at that time wanted to be associated with. So, but because this is his passion, this is something he really loved to do, it's something he really wanted to do, he had to write loads anonymously just to protect his personality, protect his job as a lawyer, just to protect himself, you know. But today, writing is a just thing to do, thank God. So um, if you want to be a writer, you don't need to hide, you don't need to publish your poems, your novels, whatever you write, anonymously. You can own it. You can own what you write, and you know these days writers are very well respected. They're very well respected. So it's a prestigious field that you can you can learn at any stage in your life, at any point in time. So please join me as we journey with Walter Scott as we read some of his poems. So I'll start with a very short one that um, is featured in one of um, Scott's novels, Lucy Ashton's Song. So this poem is an extract from one of his novels. A character in the novel sang this song, right? And it's here as a poem in its own right. Lucy Ashton's Song. Look not thou on beauty's charming, sit thou still when kings are arming. Taste not when the wine cup glistens, speak not when the people listens. Stop thine ear against the singer. From the red gold keep thy finger. Vacant heart and hand and eye, easy live and quiet die. This is like an admonition. An admonition. It's an admonition. Just live your quiet life. Live your quiet life. Live your quiet life. Look not thou on beauty's charming. When you see beautiful things, you know, that their beauty is so enticing, so captivating. He says, don't look. Just look away. Look away. The poem is saying that's how people get trapped. That's how people get tricked into things that they would never know how to get themselves out of. When you see charming beauty, look away. That's what the poem is saying. It says, sit thou still when kings are arming. When powerful authorities, when powers are fighting, when there is this power tussle, just stay away from it. Stay out of it. Just stay out of it to save yourself some headache. Stay out of power tussle. Taste not when the wine cup glistens. Oh, that cup that is presented to you that looks so enticing, so delicious, and it's glistering and looking so flashy, so enticing. Drink me, drink me, drink me. It says run away. That could be poison. That could be poison. That might not do you any good. And it says speak not when the people listen. So public speaking, when you think, oh, you're talking and everyone is listening, it says watch what you say, because that's how easily you can fall. Because mistake one mistake, everybody already has it. One mistake of a speech, boom, the whole world can hear it. That's what the poem is saying. Speak not. Speak not when the people listen. It does not say we should not teach, we should not admonish. It doesn't say you should not go about doing the things that you know how to do best. But it says, don't think you're too popular that you begin to say whatever comes to your mind without thinking, without, you know, without regurgitating what you're saying, without checking what you're saying to know how good, how much good it serves you and serves the public that is listening to you. So it says, when you think you're popular, be careful what you say. Be careful what you say. That's what the poem is saying. Just one wrong statement, the whole world will come down crashing on you. If you know this poem, if you know this poem, you can add your comments. Add your comments, please. Share your thoughts about this poem if you already know it. Or even as we are talking about it now, share your comments about the poem. If something touches you about the poem, please share it with everyone. And we go on, it says, stop thine ear against the singer. You know how music lures. Music is so very, very enticing. So it says, when you hear some music, stop your ears. Stop your ears. Music is very easily, it can easily trap you. It can easily trap you. Go to, for example, this is not disparaging clubs, but I just want to use it as an example. Go to, um, a club, and maybe you don't like to dance to some kind of music, but when it goes on and everybody's, you know, dancing to it, everybody's moving to it, it gets to that point where you can't stay down. You just, even if you don't know how to dance, you get up and start moving along. That's the power of music. And this poem is saying, stop your ears, don't listen. And he says, from the red gold, keep thy finger, keep thy finger away from red gold. Gold here is an imagery of, precious things, an imagery of precious things. Don't be greedy. Just stay away from greed. Stay away from anything that that's materialistic. The poem is saying, stay away, stay away. And it says, vacant heart and hand and eye. Vacant, that's a heart that has no no burdens of materialism. A heart and eyes that are so pure. They're not looking for things that they can grab. They're not looking for things that they can, take and take. They're not looking for things that can burden their hearts. It says that's how you should look at the world, without materialism. Do not burden your heart with things. I want this, I want that, I want this, I want that. The poem says, keep your heart free, keep your eyes free, keep your hand free. Stop grabbing. Don't grab, don't. And it says, the last line, easy live and quiet die. It says, if you live unmaterialistic life, you will die, you will live easy, and you will die a quiet life. So basically, this poem is saying, just be your simple self. Just live a quiet life. Live a quiet life. Live a quiet life. So it says, if you live a quiet life, if you live a very unmaterialistic life, you're going to die peaceful. That's what the poem is saying. That's what the poem says. Please share this live so that budding writers, people who love, literature, who love poetry, who love to hone their skills, their writing skills, so that they can come and join us. Today we're reading poems. Subsequently, we'll be doing some creative writing masterclasses. This is my working class pen. I usually come on live to do two things. I come on live under my working class pen to talk about literature, to encourage budding writers like myself, to build a community of writers and readers, emerging voices, people who have written poetry, novel chapters, critical essays that they would like somebody else to review for them. However you want your work presented, we can work with you to do that. If you want online reviews, you can come on live with me, read out your work, and people will tell you what they think about your work. That's what we aim to do here, to be a community of writers, readers, and people who just love the spoken and the written word. So please share this live so that many people who would like to be in this space so that they can join us. Secondly, I usually come on live here as well to discuss marriage topics. I love to talk about marriage, about things that can make marriages strong. But that's not what we're doing today. So we'll stick to our poems by Sir Walter Scott. We're reading his poems and having some discussions about it. That's what we're doing today. We go to the second one that we want to read. The second poem by Sir Walter Scott. If there are imageries that stand out to you, share them. Let's talk about them. Tell us what you feel, what you think about the imageries that stand out to you. What do these imageries evoke in you? Proud Mercy. We see a dialogue between a robin and a lady. Yeah? So once you're able to understand this, it makes it easier for you to actually understand what they are talking about, to kind of key into their discussion. Okay? Proud Mercy is in the wood, walking so early. Sweet Robin sits on the bush, singing so rarely. So it means this robin does not usually sing. It says, Sweet Robin sits on the bush, singing so rarely. Yeah? The lady says to the bird, because there's quotation marks to show that this is a speech act. She says, Tell me, thou bony bird, when shall I marry? When shall I marry? Me, when shall I marry? And the robin says to her, When 6 broad gentlemen, keyword shall carry ye. And the lady doesn't quite understand what the bird has said. The bird has told the lady, when you're asking when you shall marry, when you are getting married is when 6 gentlemen carry you. 6 gentlemen. What comes to your mind when you hear that somebody is going to be carried by 6 gentlemen? What comes to your mind? Who can be carried by 6 gentlemen? Does a coffin come to your mind where you have 3 people on either side of the coffin? So this lady is asking, when will I get married? But the bird is saying something else. like a prophet, like the bird. For the lady to actually ask the bird when she can get married, it means that the lady sees the bird as, you know, a prophetic sign, and this bird is actually fulfilling its mandate, so to speak, by telling the lady, watch out for it, you will soon be carried by 6 men. That's kind of prophesying her death. But this lady still doesn't get it. She still doesn't get it. And she goes ahead to ask, who makes the bridal bed? Birdie, say truly. Please tell me the truth. Who is going to make my bridal bed? Who is going to make my bridal bed? Possibly, who is going to be this gentleman that I will get married to? Who is going to be the person? Who am I getting married to? Who is going to make my bridal bed? And the bird, the robin says, the grey headed sexton that delves the grave duly. That grey headed man that digs the grave with all his passion, with all his strength, with that digs the grave duly. That person that is so passionate, so dutiful at digging graves. He's the one that will make your bed. So while the lady is talking about her bridal bed, her marital space, the bird, the robin, is talking about the grave, the bed, the bed where she's going to be laid to rest. And the bird continues, the glow-worm, O grave and stone, shall light thee steady. So the bird is now taking it, taking it up a notch. Just taking it up a notch. It's like what I said before, you didn't understand it. Let me explain it properly to you. Let me make it clearer. Worms are going to, that's what the poem is saying. Worms are going to light thee up, to light thee steady, shall light thee steady. The glowworm over the grave and stone shall light thee steady. The owl from the steeple sing. What does an owl stand for? When you hear an owl, when you hear owls, hooting, what does it stand for in your culture? What does the owl stand for in your culture? In my culture, it stands for an evil omen. When an owl hoots, people say, oh, who is going to die? Who's going to die? What's going to happen? Everybody's already, it's an ominous sign. Something is going to go wrong, usually death. So even in this poem, there's that cultural identification of owls as having, ominous messages, such that when owls hoot, it signals, it heralds a bad sign. It signals that something bad is going to happen. So the robin says to the lady, the glowworm over the grave and stone shall light thee steady. They're not going to now and leave. They're going to steady. It's a steady job until the job is done. They're going to light thee steady. The owl from the steeple sing, welcome, proud lady. And the title of this poem calls the lady in question proud. Calls the lady proud. Why do you think the lady is called proud? What has she done wrong? Has she done anything wrong to merit that description, proud? Even the robin calls her proud. The robin says the owl is going to welcome her. The owl is going to say, welcome home, proud lady. So even the robin sees her as proud. What has she done in this poem that you think that gives her away as being proud? What what gives her away as being proud? For me, to start with, she talks to the robin um, as if he's, how would I put it? Gives him a bad description as well, because she's first to tell the robin, tell me, thou bony bird. That's not a nice thing to say to somebody, is it? It's not a nice thing to say to somebody, bony bird. Yeah, calling the bird bony. Even if the bird is malnourished, that description doesn't show that she's empathetic. It doesn't show empathy towards the bird. It doesn't show empathy towards the bird. She calls the bird bony. And possibly that's why the bird, does not um, hold back in exposing her bleak future to her. The bird just tells her, "Well, this is what is going to happen to you. This is what's going to happen to you." The bird doesn't tell her when she will get married, whether she will get married before she dies, or whether she's going to die before ever a suitor will come. But this is like, see how you address me? I'm going to pay you back in your own coin. Say it how it is without petting the situation, without making it palatable to you. So that's what has gone on in this poem. Tell me what you think. Tell me what you think. Matching, lack of empathy with lack of empathy. Matching her lack of empathy. What do you think? Should the bird have been more empathetic, even though the lady at the beginning isn't? What do you think? Share your thoughts with me. And thank you for being here. Help me share this live so that I can get to more people who would like to join.